This podcast is sponsored by Chimby, the career advice search engine. Go to chimby.com to search the web's best collection of career advice sites. That's CHIMBY.com. Welcome to Secrets of the Job Hunt, everyone. This is the podcast edition. I'm your host, Chris Russell. This is the weekly job search roundup for the week ending June 30th. Well, it's been a few weeks since you last heard from me. Summer is here, and I attended a conference of human resource professionals last week called SHRM, where I was busy covering the event for recruitingfly.com. So if you're interested in all things HR, check out the Recruiting Fly blog for some cool videos and pictures from the conference. It was held in Las Vegas and had over 20,000 HR professionals in attendance. You'll never find a greater number of HR people ever in one place again until next year's show in Chicago. So I had a great time. The weather was warm, 103 degrees I think was the average temp. But it was pretty cool inside, so definitely a great time at the SHRM conference. Okay, so lots of job boards have made news over the past few weeks, so I'll begin by talking about Hotjobs, number one. Hotjobs.com, the third largest national job board, has relaunched their site and added a few new features. Along with a fresh new purple look, they've added the ability to track all of the jobs you applied to, which makes your life easier. They also added a couple new features to the homepage. The first is Yahoo Answers. Yahoo Answers allows you to post questions related to your job search and get really almost instant feedback. It's a great way of asking for career advice, such as which interview tips work best, or how you should customize your resume for a certain job. I think of it really as a virtual career coach. So you can go on there and just pose a question, and within minutes you'll get answers from just your peers or other job search experts. So it's a pretty cool feature for you. The second feature they added is integration with Flickr, their online photo sharing site that is also owned by Yahoo. Users can browse pics related to work-related tags and keywords right on the homepage there. I do wish it allowed users to enter their own tags, let's say for a certain company, to see if they had any photos online of of their office, for example, which I think is a good way to use Flickr. But it's a first step, I guess. So I give them kudos for trying something new anyway. Okay, so Jobbing.com is in the news. They just recently bought up the local job board network, localcareers.com. Local Careers started out in Wisconsin with wisconsinjobs.com. And they own hundreds of job-related domains, which they have launched over the years, for basically almost every state in the country. If you haven't heard of Jobbing, it's probably because they serve mostly western U.S. states, such as Arizona, California, Oregon, etc. And with their new acquisition, they've now entered Wisconsin, as well as some other states. So you might be hearing more about them. But they're primarily a West Coast player in the job board arena. Okay, DiversityJobs.com is a new venture from Latpro. Latpro.com is the diversity candidate board. It's the first and only vertical job search engine dedicated to the entire spectrum of diverse job seekers. So it's a meta job search site launched with job listings from over 30 elite job boards, hitting the ground running on its mission to connect ethnic and diversity groups with employers committed to fostering a diverse workplace. So if you're a minority candidate, you can check out diversityjobs.com. It'll give you a good leg up on the competition there. All right, let's see here. iHippo is in the news. iHippo.com, which is IHIPO, is a combination of a social network and job site for graduates and young professionals seeking international assignments with multinational employers and career networking with peers from around the globe. So it's like a global job board for the recently graduated, basically. Their slogan is, iHippo is the high potential network dedicated to empowering international careers. So if you are a international globe traveler and you're looking for work outside the U.S., this is a pretty cool site. It's a social network site, but it's also a job board, and you can network with other people around the world. So definitely check that out. It's ihippo.com, IHIPO.com. Okay, lastly on my agenda here, I want to read a post to you from Heather Hamilton. She's a recruiter at Microsoft, and she dishes out a lot of good job search advice on her blog over at blogs.msdn.com. Now, she wrote a post on increasing the odds of getting your resume in front of the hiring manager. And so I wanted to read that to you because I thought it was a good little piece of information that you usually don't find in a book. It's sort of that down to earth, realistic type of advice that I like, and I want to read this to you. Okay, so she says, oftentimes the recruiter has time constraints. Either they have a lot on their plate, or they're generating resumes for a meeting with a hiring manager, let's say tomorrow. So other than having the right skills on your resume, what can increase your odds of getting your resume in front of the hiring manager, she asks. Answering the questions about relocation and work authorization and writing your resume is her answer. She says, I know it sounds weird and counter to the ridiculous one-page resume that some people will have, you believe is a requirement, but if you think about a recruiter who is working with a large number of positions and candidates with a deadline, the ability to answer those questions immediately significantly increases your odds of having your resume pass through to the hiring team pronto. If you have posted your resume on a job board or included a cover letter, you might think the information is already there. I put it in my profile or cover letter, you say. Well, I've got to tell you, she says, few recruiters read cover letters. And I'll repeat that. Few recruiters read cover letters. And frequently your resume becomes unattached from the email you sent it in or the cover letter you attached it to. There's a reason why it's called an attachment. It gets detached. Anyway, this is just a thought for those of you that want to try to grease the skids a bit with regard to getting your info in front of the hiring manager. Something as simple as current U.S. work authorization and open to relocation, or for example, U.S. citizen open to relocation, under your contact information could be a good thing. Even just open to relocation as a phrase would be great. Aside from sharing that specific information, it will show the hiring team that you were just a tad bit smarter than the other people applying. So there you go. Good advice from Heather Hamilton. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Weekly Job Search Roundup. Stay tuned to the Secrets of the Job Hunt blog for more interesting career topics. My blog is over 600 pages of career advice, so be sure to give it a read. And if you need to contact me with any comments or questions, send an email to info@secretsofthejobhunt.com. Thanks for listening, everyone. Take care.